Welcome back to the Webby and O'Neill channel, and it's the match preview, Manchester United versus Aston Villa. As usual, have your say in the comment section, and don't forget to leave a like on today's video, as you know it's much appreciated. I sense a real relief amongst Manchester United fans that this is the last game of the season.
Yeah, a relief. It's been a dour, poor season. We all know that. We can go over and over it again. But listen, we all know it's going to be a tough watch tomorrow, tough in the ground. All them fans turning up, paying a lot of money to watch these players who earn a lot of money, and they've not performed for what they're being paid. That is clear. So tough all round. I'm expecting Amorim to put out all the players. I don't want to see him resting any players. There's people in that ground, like I say, paying good money, and they've got to perform. They've got to send some fans away with a smile. Some of us won't have a smile on our faces regardless, but I do want to see a positive performance, send off in a good way. It won't be good for a lot of people. That is guaranteed, because nothing can turn around this poor season.
You talk about putting out all the players. Me and you were having a bit of to and fro in earlier on this morning. Should he play, the more experienced players, the team that he put out basically in the Europa League final, or should he start playing some of the kids in the academy? But we're coming to a point where both of us are thinking, why should any of them players have any hiding place? Put them out there in the last game of the season.
No, he's got to put out his best players, his fit players, and there is no hiding place. And that's what it's all about against Aston Villa. No hiding place from these players. I don't know the mood of that crowd, okay? Some people are angry. Some people are just like, oh, here we go. It's just another game. Thank God it's the end of the season. Them players don't know. So what the reaction from the fans are going to be will turn nasty if you don't see a performance. And that's why I want them players out there. They have to perform. The atmosphere, I think, will be subdued, but if they go out there and put on a performance, because Villa are coming to win the game. And what you have to be competitive. And United have to be competitive, or the league is just a joke. They have to stop Aston Villa winning and trying to get in that Champions League. That's what it's about. So you want to see these players show Ruben Amorim that going forward to next year, they're worthy of something. I'm not saying a full place, but these players, they have to do it. They have to show football is the number one priority.
Don't get me wrong, listening to his press conference earlier on today, Saturday, I got a feeling as though they already know. Ruben Amorim, the staff, the people inside the club, who they want to be here next year and who they don't, regardless of how they perform in the game against Aston Villa.
Well, I think everyone out there, even ourselves, would be shocked. I especially would be shocked if they didn't already know who would be here next year and who's out. Okay, it's simple. They've had 6 months to do it. Ruben Amorim was brought in early. He knows all the mistakes and everything, and he was happy being brought in because all the mistakes now, he's gone through him and he's got a clear path. That's what I expect this club to have, a clear path. I don't think he's too worried now. From his press conference there, he's happy being brought in to deal with all the rubbish. And I think he's been caught out by a lot of the rubbish. But hey, a clear path. And after today, these players, they all know. I think some of them already know. And Ruben Amorim, he's had a word with 1 or 2 players, especially Bruno and especially Garnacho, over the last 48 hours regarding rumours. So whether he quashes them, which he didn't do in the press conference, over the next few days, we'll soon find out. But all the plans and all the direction of where we're going into should be sorted now. So that team out there against Aston Villa has to perform regardless of whether they know or they don't know, or they're not sure or they're unsure on where their future lies. I know where some of them players' future lies, and I know a few of you in the comments will tell us exactly where some of these players should or shouldn't be.
I was actually really pleased to listen to him talk about the time when he actually come in this season to Manchester United instead of leaving it until the summertime. And me and you have spoken about it maybe possibly being a positive if we look back in 2 years' time, that he had the head start that he has done this season instead of waiting until the summertime to get the squad in, and some of these players pulling the wool over his eyes, bluffing him to go into a new Premier League season, that they're going to give that intensity that he actually demands.
Well, this is the thing. You're
He's
saying,
already seen it already in the 6 months or so since he's been in.
yeah, but you're saying in 2 years' time we'll look back at it.
I
Listen,
hope so.
yeah, you hope so. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people out there who don't hope. They think a lot of these problems have been by Ruben Amorim not being good enough, not being qualified enough. But hey, anybody walking in, this is how I look at it. Anybody walking into that situation when Ruben Amorim did just walk right into a trap of vipers, and that's what this squad and this club has been. It's not just the players, it's everything else, and Ruben Amorim says that. So he's got to put them players out there and he's go, you go and face the crowd. You face that crowd and you perform, because if you don't perform, and I think Ruben Amorim will accept it, that the fans turn round and show their displeasure, because nothing, and I mean nothing, boils down to what this game is all about. It's the biggest humiliation at the end of any season I've ever seen. So I want the players to perform. I actually want to see a good game of football. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you, right? And let's see who can stand up to what that scene, that atmosphere is all about. You will see men and you will see people who just haven't got it.
Yeah, players that will hide, and I'm not too sure if he's giving a speech after full time to fans that remain inside Old Trafford, but if he is getting a lift off anyone to put that speech together, I would suspect that that will be the hardest job in football on Sunday, to deliver that speech. But you talk about some people out there not fully on board with Ruben Amorim. I can understand certain points that people do make, but I still jump on board with the fact and stick to it, that I'm just hoping that that head start that he's got during this season will benefit us long term, because it then start the process off a lot quicker in shifting these players out.
Yep.
He already had 2 that was put and cast aside in Rashford and Anthony, who he doesn't feel that are good enough. So there's a head start already. And let's hope we can start recouping some money in, which is going to be desperately needed to reinvest back into this squad in the summer. A huge, huge job this summer, but they say they have a plan in the background. So let's hope that that delivers.
Well, you've just got to look at it now. Just before I go, I've got to say this about Ruben Amorim. What he did talk about is it's not going to take one transfer window. He doesn't know how many. He doesn't know how long. And I think all fans are thinking that, looking at the situation, right? But there is hope. Okay, there's a lot of people hoping for different scenarios with Ruben Amorim, but let the summer go. Let's see what develops. We know Ruben Amorim's staying, and he's got a hard task ahead. He's got to perform and get them players playing against Aston Villa, and then he's got to turn it round in the summer. So fingers crossed for the summer, the new year, all the plans, but most of all, he has to get them players putting in that performance against Aston Villa, because the crowd will not sit on their hands like they have done all year.
Just going back to what you just said there about him saying he doesn't know how long it'll take to turn this club around to where it should be, in our opinions, challenging at the top of the Premier League table. That's because he's got to wait and see how much this club and people in there running it are going to back him in the summer transfer window and transfer windows to come. And let's hope, fingers crossed, that he does get the support and backing that a lot of us can actually see in actually changing and ripping apart this squad and getting players in who actually want to play for that badge. But I'd just like to end it there. First of all, I'd just like to say big, massive thank you to everyone that stayed with us during the whole season. It's been a very, very tough season, to say the least, but it's much appreciated from everyone here. Every single one of you is continuing to support the channel, getting involved as usual, having your say in the comment section, and we're nearly on 90,000 subscribers.
Couple of hundred short.
90,000 of us in this community getting involved weekly.
Brilliant.
About Manchester United is absolutely brilliant. It's it's just absolutely fantastic. It's nuts, to be honest with you.
And we've got the aftermatch, so that's going to be interesting, because a lot of people will be ready for what is out there on that pitch, and they'll want to understand what really has happened, because Ruben Amorim will have a few words to say.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you straight after the game with Tony's match reaction, and hopefully I can grab Webby, if he's not too busy, to get his thoughts, not just on the game, but maybe the season overall and what's to come in the summertime. Thanks, and smash that like button. Thank
Cheers.
you.